everybody, and thank you for joining me once again. Today we are going to review a beautiful website, but we will try to do it a little bit more beautiful. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining me. My name is Eleftheria and I am an app developer. Now, in the description box, you will be able to find everything that you're maybe interested in, like this site, this URL if you want to check this site by yourself, and also you will find some other details like how you can also take part with your website if you want some feedback or some review. Cool, now without further ado, let's get started reviewing Knee Along, which is coming from us by Joshi. Joshi was kind enough and sent me this website. I will start from the top. Now, I have some information like the menu and the search box and some other information like Twitter, Instagram and the date. And also, when I scroll down, the menu is disappearing. My suggestion for this first part would be to delete these two links, because I know that you also have them down below, so you don't really need them. And also we don't really need the date, so you can also delete this part right here. This means that your menu would be a little bit smaller, the height would be smaller, but that's perfectly fine. And also make your menu sticky, so it will be always on the top and it will never disappear. Now, another thing that I noticed is that Instagram and Twitter doesn't really work, so please also check out the links. So it says page not found, and the same goes for Twitter. So yeah, just check them. Now, one thing that I like is the search box. This is cool, you don't have to change anything here. But other than that, I think that were my recommendations for your menu. You want it to be sticky and maybe smaller. Cool. Now let's continue with the recent articles. And here, and if you also see the data structures, the join, the system design, the programming puzzles, I mean, you have a lot of information, so we will try to declutter all those information. So new users, it will be easier for them to catch up with what you're trying to say. Alright, so now in the recent articles, you have everywhere the same images, and I noticed that you do that everywhere. So I would suggest you to have different images from different articles. And also all the titles are starting with pretty much the same words, so it's a little bit difficult again for the viewer to understand what is your title and what is your topic. Also, another thing is that in some cases you have the knee along theme, which in some other cases you don't have that. I assume that all the articles are written by the same team. If this is true, then you really don't need that, because everything is written by the same team. If you had external teams or some other people, some freelancers that they were writing articles for you, then yes, you need that. Otherwise, you don't really need that. And also the other difference is that in some cases you have dates, but in some other cases you don't really have dates. So because we want consistency, I would again suggest you to either add dates everywhere or not. Personally, I like dates, and it's nice to have everywhere dates, but everywhere, not just in one place. The other thing with the tags, I like it, so this is kind of cool. So for the recent articles, these were my suggestions. Just keep everything in the same place. Change images, make the titles a little bit different, and that's it. Now, if you want to continue with the data structures, here the things are a little bit different. You have the image, you have the tag, then the title, again the theme, the date, and some text. The problem here is that again it's not consistency. Before, in the recent articles, you had the image, and inside the image you had the title and the other information. Now first you have the image. Inside the image you have the tag, but then everything else is outside. Since we want consistency, you should either change the first part or change this part, so have everything to be like the same. The other, let's say, issue with the data structures is that you have all CPP data structures, dynamic, more, and you have a lot of things. But if I go up here to data structures, you only have stack, queue, linked list, tree, and graph. But here you have like everything, you have all, you have more, you have too many things. In data structures, you should either have only these 5 things or really have everything. So when I click on all, I could see everything. And that would be my suggestion. That would declutter a lot of things from your website, really a lot of things. So yeah, that will change again a lot of things. Let's continue with join. And I think that this is something like a newsletter. I would prefer to see that as join the newsletter rather than programming club, except if this is something else. If the programming club is something different to newsletter, then that's okay. But for example, I am a new user and I don't know what the programming club is. If it's something different from the newsletter, then write down what the programming club is. If it's in the newsletter, then stick to the word newsletter, because new users won't understand what you mean. Then this orange color, I'm not very sure how good matches with your previous colors. This one and this yellow one, like this orange is like too bright, whereas everything else is not that bright. Maybe you could have it like pink as here, or maybe blue, something like that, but I'm not sure about orange. The other thing is that, as you can see, the email address is a little bit inside, so it has a padding or a margin here. I don't think that you really need that. And also you have like too many colors here. You have the orange, you have the gray, and you have the green. Stick to not so many colors. Like for example, if that was blue, then this could be also blue. If this was pink, that could also be pink. You don't really need so many colors, alright? And if you guys are watching me right now, then maybe you can leave a comment as how you prefer this kind of things. So let's continue with the system design. And the system design, I would guess that you don't need that. Why you don't need the system design? Because you already have it somewhere here. It's here, like system design. So why do you need the same thing twice? You don't really need that. So you could even delete this whole part right here. And then pretty much the same goes for the programming puzzles. I can see that you have some different things. Some of the all, it's programming, so you have all here and you also have all here. And this is different. Why it's different? If you say all, it should be the same. So this is a little bit complicated, I think, for a new user. You could even delete this whole part and make everything in the data structures. Okay. Or else find a way to differentiate these two things, because I think that you have some things that are written twice. And I don't know, maybe like you have the CPP, for example, here, and you also have it here, like here. So try only to have the things once, not twice. You don't really need that. And let's go to the last part, which is the bottom. Like I like this one, which is follow us. You have again here these links. It's nice that you have them. Just please fix the links, because again it says like page not found. You have the about us, which is really cool, and the email. I like that. It's simple and it works like perfectly fine. And again here you have every detail that the user may need. So this is a really nice structure. Now let's go to data structures. And I think that I've already saw some things that could be improved a little bit here. For example, I like that you have this explanatory text right here, but I'm not sure about the latest. I don't think that a lot of people will click on the latest, and even if they do, the letters are a bit small, so make sure that you will make the font size a little bit bigger. Alright, cool. And I like that you have this bar always here, but because you have the search bar here and the latest here, people probably won't see this. They will just search what they need. Okay, and now let's go inside an article and see the structure as well here. Okay, again, I like the structure here, and the reason that I like it is because it's simple, and the other person can just look at it and understand it. I don't have a lot of things to add here. Just keep the tags, they look fine. I like that you have the path here so everyone can really understand what you're talking about. But if we go again just back to the data structures, I have some suggestions. First of all, just you have this image everywhere. Make a different image for every article that you have. The second is that you always have the writer, but because the writer is the same person, you don't really need that. Other than that, I think that we are okay. Let's continue with the system design. And also here I really like the structure. It's simple and I get the point. You also get the point what I mean with the images and the theme here. But now let's go to CPP, and here I have a small issue. You don't have the explanatory text as you had before, so I think that a nice suggestion would be also to add here some text. And the same goes for programming as well. You could totally add some text and my other suggestions. Alright, I think that we are cool, and I also really like the pagination, so you don't have to add anything else here. Cool. Now let's very quickly see the same thing in a mobile phone. You could even delete some whole sections. For example, you don't need this section right here, the programming puzzles, because some of these things are the same as in the data structures, and the same goes for the system design. Cool. Other than that, I don't think that I have one small suggestion also here. The About Us section, I noticed that when you have the whole page, the text align is on the left, but here is on the center. So this is just a small thing that I would like to notice. Alright, that was it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please don't forget to share it with your friends, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also very important is to submit your own page. That's it, guys. Stay tuned. More content is coming soon, and yeah, stay safe, stay home, and that was it. Bye.